Hello Capsuleer, my name is Gildy and welcome to EVE Online. This little series will go over some of the basic concepts for new players who would like to dip their toes in the space trucking career or just want to know how to haul without being blown up by gankers constantly. The motivation for this came from observing mistakes made by new players while I was in newbie corporations. Said newbies would keep throwing the same paper-thin ship into space over and over again, expecting a different outcome. So, in this video, I will tackle, no pun intended, the first major step that any newbie needs to take in order to stop themselves being a flashing target to any ganker trying to get a profit in high-sec. That step is prioritizing tank over cargo space and taking more than one trip if needed with your cargo instead of having a paper-thin ship with way too much value in it. Why does that even matter though? Gankers blow up hauling ships in order to take their cargo. If they assess the cargo value to the cost of the ships they use to kill your hauler and lose to Concord correctly, they profit from it by selling that cargo later, even with the drop chance for items coming from killed player ships being 50%. And since it is profitable, there are whole groups that do that and even put their content about suicide ganking on YouTube or stream it on Twitch, showing exactly how they do it and what levels of risk they are getting from such actions. And it's usually a lot. But all this might be a lot to take in at first. So, let's start at the beginning. What is suicide ganking? It is a form of ganking players where you throw enough ships at your prey to kill them and usually have an ult that will scoop the loot and warp off before Concord, the NPC police, arrives and kill the attackers. And we refer to suicide ganking as the action that is happening in the high security systems where Concord can respond. Right now, you can see on the screen the security status of the system versus the Concord response time as per EVE Wiki. This gives you an estimation how long you need to survive if you get ganked before Concord mops the floor with the attackers, and if you survive that time, allow you to move on. Since ganking ships can be really cheap as 2 to 3 million ISK for a tier 1 fit catalyst that can easily reach 400 DPS, which can be enough for a lot of paper-thin ships, you should haul 3000 ISK per effective hit point of your ship. That is, if you want to listen to the source of knowledge, that again is the EVE Wiki. You can of course expand that value with time, but it comes with player and character skill and experience, and learning about more and more tricks that keep you safe while hauling. Now, how do they even know who to attack? Gankers do have ults that, thanks to a passive targeter, can target you on gates a few jumps before the trap while you travel without you realizing. Then they use a ship scanner to see your fitting and assess your EHP, and a cargo scanner to see how much value you are moving. Therefore, in order to prevent getting ganked, you need to adjust the value of your goods to the tank that your ship has to stop being a target and have the gankers turn their eyes to the easier ones. So, first step should be choosing your ship. First and foremost, unless you ship things between two stations inside of a system without moving further, forget about the Bestower, Iteron Mark V, Tyra and Mammoth. Even if you put the silliest tank fits on them, they barely have proper tank and utility. When I tried putting as much tank as possible, even with maxed skills, those were the results. Tyra reached 6,400 cubic meters with 31,000 effective HP. Mammoth nearly 3,700 cubic meters with 22.7 thousand EHP. Iteron Mark V 7,200 cubic meters with 17,500 EHP. And lastly Bestower with 6,000 cubic meters and 23.3 thousand EHP. All of the above, if you keep to the rules made by the EVE Wiki, will allow you to carry under 100 million ISK worth of cargo before you become a target for the gankers. That is, if you would have perfect skills, which vast majority of newbies who take on hauling do not have, and also a massive part of them put not tank, but full cargo expanders in their ships, which makes those EHP numbers drop to 3 to 4,000, meaning that gankers have a really easy job killing them with 1, maybe 2 catalysts worth 3 million ISK each. And that is not a lot of deterrent when you would use those ships' maximum cargo potential and move more than 30,000 cubic meters of any goods. At that point, the gankers might even pop your ship just to see you rage in local chat. Okay, so I've been yapping about what not to do, what to avoid, and you are probably thinking, okay, so what's the solution? Give me something that I should do. And I was just about to do that. Using these smaller ships from the hauler variety, having them fit for purpose of surviving first, and splitting the cargo value into more trips that will keep you under the danger threshold is the way to go when you are starting the game. Later down the line, you will train into bigger, better, even tankier ships that allow you to move a lot of cargo at once without the worry of gankers in high sec, or you will be able to just pay someone else to move your stuff while you do other things that you enjoy. But if you are just starting, take your time because that is your most valuable currency in the game. I am now showing you on the screen my favorite hauler, the Badger. I used to fly it constantly when I was a newbie, moving decent chunks of loot to Jita and back before I upgraded to other ships. You can also find the alpha character friendly fit for this ship linked in the description below. This for a maxed alpha account reaches 4,095 cubic meters with 42,000 EHP, so still better than a maxed Omega player flying a tanked Mammoth. Omega player with max skills reaches 4,875 cubic meters in this ship with 50,000 EHP. If you really need to boost your cargo, you can drop the warp core stabilizer on it and put an expanded Cargohold there, which increases your cargo to 5,221 cubic meters and lowers the EHP for Alpha to 40.6 thousand. For Omega, it is 6,200 cubic meters and 49,000 EHP, making it more viable than 2, nearly topping 3 of the big haulers when they are fit for tank. Wreathe, the Minmata hauler, also reaches pretty decent numbers, but they are a tiny bit behind the Badger, at least with the fit I have come up with. Still, it is a solid choice, with alpha players going with 3,882 cubic meters in cargo, 39.4 thousand EHP, and Max Omega can go with 4,600 cubic meters and 37.3 thousand EHP. Sigil and Denarius are very tricky because armor tanking rigs actually lower your cargo capacity, and in general they seem to have way lower results, so I have not included them. And that is it for this week. If you enjoyed the video, consider hitting the like, let me know if you got caught while hauling in high sec in the comments down below, and subscribe to see my future uploads. And if we never see each other again in Space Capsulia, fly safe.